Hi everyone, my name is Jitse de Smet and I am a PhD student at the Knowledge on Web Scale research group of Ghent University. This video is a demonstration of the storage guiding framework, which is a framework that allows you to interpret a solid plot as a collection of RDF data instead of a collection of documents that contain RDF data. So what that means is that I can just simply select a solid plot and then start querying and interacting with that solid plot in an abstracted manner. So that if I, for example, want to insert data here, it simply inserts this data. This is actually abstracting the structure of the underlying solid plot. In this case, I have created a social media post, and social media posts in this specific solid plot are fragmented in such a way that a single document actually groups together the different social media posts that are made in on a certain date. Now, this data is actually described in the storage guidance vocabulary, which is contained within this plot. So if we go, for example, here at the root of the plot, we see that there's a document, SGF, which is the storage guidance vocabulary. When we go there and we, for example, want to see the data, we see that it is indeed a description of this solid plot. So about a post shape, so it describes a post. We know that it is in a container, which is a structured container, and that there's a certain grouping strategy present. And that grouping strategy will say that this resource, right? So everything matching the post shape is actually grouped together in documents by the creation date predicate over here. Then there's different things like a save condition that says when things get saved, and an update condition that says, for example, can things be updated? Like, can they be updated? Should they be moved if they deviate too much from their original meaning? And stuff like that. Now, going back to our web UI over here, we'll just explore some more queries. For example, if I want to change my data, because the data that we had previously, and if I look at the creation date, that's actually the date of ESWC last year. So let's quickly patch that up and take it to ESWC this year. And then you will see that the document over here has moved. So before, this document where this data was stored was 2024. Now it's 2025. So that's all according to plan. If I then want to, for example, insert a data tag, because now the data is, the tags are Portoros and the semantic web, but well, let's also add the tag mountain. So when I add the tag mountain, we can clearly see that the tag mountain has indeed been added to this resource. That is nice. Now, what happens if the resource gets changed in such a way that it's, for example, invalid? Because the shape description that we use for a post says that there must be only one, so no more, no less, so one ID for a post. So if I then want to, for example, append a new ID, we will get an error from our framework saying that, hey, there is no resource or like no collection that actually matches this new shape of data. So we could solve that, for example, by creating a dumpster document that matches anything, and then everything could be grouped together within that document. But for this solid plot, that's not the case, and thus we get an exception that says, hey, this kind of data can actually not be stored within this solid plot. Then moving on, we can of course also remove tags. So right, remember here we have that tag mountain. If I execute this query, we can see that the tag mountain has been removed. The next query tries to remove the ID, and the problem will be the same as before, right? We need to have an ID. That's not possible. Then simple queries that we also didn't have yet is, for example, I want to remove all tags using a delete where SPARQL query. So what that does is if I execute it, bam, the tags have been removed. I still have here a query that adds the tag high where mountain is. So let's quickly add the tag mountain again. So that is now done. And then this query will add the tag high. So that is now done. And then, for example, if you want to clear this resource, right, if you want to delete it, we can also simply do so. And now we say, hey, we moved away, like our browser moved away from the document we saw before, and says here three triples have changed. What are that? Well, that's here the triples that say that the document has been modified. But if we actually go to the document again, we can see that it is indeed empty. So that is quite nice. A last query that I want to show then for this solid plot is, right, if we add the data, we can of course also manually remove the data again using a delete data query. So that is again done. It will say that the document has changed, but if we go to the documents, it is because it's made empty. Now, the strength, of course, is that these different solid plots that it's compatible for different solid plots. So, for example, if we take a solid plot that groups every post together in a single document, right, such as this one, we can see here that all posts are actually grouped together in one big resource. As such, if I want to insert a data, and let's quickly prepend this with some zeros so that it's the first resource, and it's just quickly in the browser. If we execute this query, we can see that again, the storage guiding framework will discover that all posts are in a single document, and thus, tada, they get added over here. I can go through the same queries again, which I won't do because, well, it's kind of tedious and it's already a long video. But yeah, if you go to ESWC, do check it out. If you see this video later, there's Docker containers publicly available so that you can actually try this out yourself. I hope this new interpretation gives some insights to the people watching this. And yeah, I guess I will see you around.